In second grade, I wrote a poem. The sun is yellow, the grass is green, the sky is blue, what color are you? And Dr. Lanigan, the principal, came up to me and he goes, Donna, this is so fantastic. He goes, you're only in second grade? I said, yes. And he goes, we're going to print this in the Walker Talker, which was our school newspaper. And with us now is Lisa. We're going to be talking about how we love to embrace all the cultures of the world. Hello.
Hi.
Easy for me to say, cultures of the world. Cultures of the world.
It is a fun one.
So you have been on our show a few times. You consider yourself what? Latina, American, like what do you like?
Well,
combination?
I'm definitely Italian American.
Okay,
but I have a big background in Latin America. I worked within the region for 4 years. I come back to New York, and you know it is the melting pot of the world.
Yes,
and you know I really fell in love with the culture. See, having a good time. I fell in love with the culture. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with their enthusiasm for life, and I really didn't want to let it go, and so I embraced it by opening a Hispanic advertising agency here on Long Island. I think it's the only one of its kind here on Long Island, and you know it's really about cultural diversity. It's not only Spanish, because of course it's a Hispanic agency, so that was our base, but it's about diversity. It's about Long Island and really the people and the culture that live here today, and how do we embrace that in our marketing messages? So I consider myself an American, and what does that mean today? So when we look at Long Island, we often see, you know, we're a melting pot, it's an extension of New York City, but our brands kind of have a lack of messaging. We tend to be a one-size-fits-all brand, right? Everyone wants one message that can just be blanketed out there, and it's going to be the magic, you know, the secret sauce, and everyone's going to swarm to my brand and just buy it up because it's so perfect. Well, we all know that that's, you know, just not reality, and it's really just not how we can communicate, you know, with one another. I know hanging out with you and I, you know, we have an array of friends, and it's different, you know, it's different by the day. We're affected by the news, we're affected by, you know, what's the weather, you know, and how we act towards one another. So, you know, I live in Port Jeff Station. It is hugely eclectic. You know, I have an issue when it comes to being put in a box, and when I'm forced to sort of saying, okay, well, this is predominantly, you know, one culture, and this is other areas predominantly another culture. Well, that's just not true. That's not who we are today. And, you know, thank goodness for social media, I have to say, because it allows us to not be a one-size-fits-all shop. You know, we look at what's happening on Long Island and we see so many young people leaving, right? They can't afford it. Where are they going? They're going to Brooklyn. They're going to Brooklyn because they can work in Manhattan. They're going to Brooklyn because there's more housing and affordable housing. You know, they're going there because it's just cooler. You know, well, what is Brooklyn? Brooklyn is a melting pot. And we have the same thing here. We just don't talk about it. You know, so I feel like a sense of social responsibility to talk about it. We are a cool place. We are a melting pot, you know, and we do have the ability to evolve, I want to say. You know, we're not just that stodgy, you know, what we used to be. We are young. We are, you know, a mix of cultures. So I know I see it here when I come to the Donna Drake show. We have all sorts of people and so much fun. You were just in Japan.
I was. One of the things that I walked away with from Japan was a tradition that they have, and it's called the use of a dharma. Do you know what a dharma is?
No, what is that?
Okay, so a dharma is a little figurine, or sometimes just a drawing, and a dharma is this character that's got like this grimacing face, and it has like two blank slots for where your eyes go, right? They're just blank. And when you do is, when you have an intention, you color in one eye, the eye, my right eye, you know, so if you're looking at it, it would be on the left. You color that in with a black circle, okay? So that's when you create an intention. So you create this intention of a goal or something that you want to create, and you're prayerful about it or mindful about it, and when you complete that goal, you get to color in the other eye.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, so symbolic. Yeah. But then sometimes what you can do is you can actually take, if it's a paper dharma, you know, or this ceramic dharma, and then you burn it, and then the ashes, and on top of those hot coals and those hot ashes, you bake a rice cake, right? And then you eat the rice cracker, you know?
Oh,
and so it's like this really cool, like, thing that we all embraced while we were over there. We're like, you can learn so much from different cultures by embracing the ideas that they have and how symbolic everything is over there. So I learned that, and I thought that that was fun. And even in marketing, like, how many times could we all use a dharma in our life, right?
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, well, this is the intention. And I think you're right. I think with slogans and things that we're trying to address and messages that we're trying to do or ways we're trying to celebrate is just having not a separation of like, well, this is my zip code or that's your zip code or something like that.
Right.
We just live in all zip codes.
You know, an interesting, census came out, and they say by 2023, which is just around the corner, the Hispanic population will be the #1 population here on Long Island. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to be the buyers, but they are the buyers of tomorrow. So any brand that really wants to have some kind of longevity can't ignore that anymore. And if you're ignoring, the urban culture, you need to embrace that. And when you talk about Hicksville and areas like Jericho and Nassau County, where buying power is huge, we're talking about the Asian population. So thanks to social media, thanks to video, thanks to images that we can put out content so quickly and so relevantly, we need to see those images in our ads. We need to talk to the people that live here today. We can't ignore it. We have to be all embracing. As an advertising agency, that's definitely our mantra. I think that when you try to cultivate one-size-fits-all messaging, you're just going to fall apart. You have to embrace the culture. You have to live it, so to speak. So we hire an eclectic group that goes out in sort of focus groups, the messaging ahead of time. Everything is always done, a month or two in advance so that we can understand what's working, what doesn't work, and kind of shift it and change it and speak more directly. We use Spanish in our voices, in our voiceovers, whether it's some titling that might be in a print ad, but it's always, there is a specific formula that we have found that hits the mark, and it's about 8% of your ad. If you mix in just the right amount and you're speaking just the right language, if it does pick up the tone of that culture, you will have a higher direct response rate, which is what we want. And as marketers, I always say we have a social responsibility to push this content out and make brands be aware and change. They have to shift and change and grow with the times, and that's our mantra.
And likewise, when our show started going global, I wanted to be able to bring value to the audience.
Yeah.
And that's why we went to Nova Scotia. That's why we went to Japan. We just got invited to go to South Africa, to Cape Town, and we're going to be going to Australia. And it was similar. I'm like, how can I embrace the world and showcase stories from around the globe and be relevant? I need to go there first. I need to go there and experience it and celebrate that.
That's right.
And I know that you're doing that every day with all the clients that you work with. So thanks for joining us. It's
Thank
always
you.
fun to visit with you and to
So
kind of have those mindful conversations, and look forward to hearing from you again.
I will.
So
Thank you. Thanks so much.
there you go. And now I don't know what I'm going to order the crew for lunch, but I'm thinking it should be something international. Stay tuned for more. Maybe we'll have, Chinese food today. I don't know.
Ooh.
Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.